How's it going, peoples? This is Cooliex the Twilight Dragon, and I'm giving you a special episode of Dragonspeak. I know I put these few and far in between, but this one is kind of special because I'm going to be doing a couple of tutorials, sort of. Well, not really tutorials, but just going to show you how I do certain things. A coworker of mine, he was asking me, like, how do I edit my videos and stuff like that, and I figure, why not show a video of, like, how I do the things I do. So for this one, I'm going to show you the process of how I make my quote-unquote mixtape series. What they really call, they're really just, fighting game compilations. I call them mixtapes because, I like to, it's a funny way of thinking about how, and one mixtapes are. If you don't know what it is, an and one mixtape is, when they show, really cool basketball tricks and stuff and dunks, and they put, with, a rap song on behind it. So I did the same thing by saying, this is a Cross Tekken and Street Fighter 4 mixtape, because I did the same thing. I put a whole bunch of, clips together that are really cool with, rap music or just music or cool music in general. So that's now you know a little bit about that. But sorry, I'm unscripted, so I never do a script. I just like to have fun, just do it from the top of my head. But anyway, let's start with showing you what goes in the process of doing things. We're gonna start by basically showing me recording a replay. The first thing I always do is, if you haven't known already from watching my website for a long time, I usually like recording replays. I'm not that good at fighting games myself, but I love watching replays. I just get a kick out of just watching, two really skilled people go against each other. The difference between me and other replay channels is, though, I don't really like to follow, the really, really famous, popular people. I like to follow the people, who are really good, but nobody really knows about them. That's why, especially following the PC versions of Cross Tekken and Street Fighter 4, is because you don't hear about these people Evo and big competitions like that. These are just really cats who are really, really good at these games, and I just love following them and watching their stuff and showing it to you guys. So that's another reason I really love the fact that I do more PC recording than console recording. But enough of my talking. Let's go delve into Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and I'll break down how things go around.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Alright, so here we are. So let's get started. Let's start by logging in and everything like that. I was extremely happy when this game finally came to PC, especially with the extra characters like Cody in them, because that was one thing I was really sad about. And when I first got this game on PC, Cody and Brian and all the other extra characters weren't out for PC yet, so it kind of devastated me that I had this on PS3 and those characters were there but not on the PC version. So when they finally came out here, I was super excited to see how the people on PC use them. But enough of that little thing. First I go to live battle, and we're gonna go to the replay channel, obviously. Now I already have a couple of replays saved, so we're just gonna go, and actually I have something really cool to show you. The process I really go by doing this is that I usually, I have people I follow, obviously. So I do a follow check first and foremost before I do anything. I usually follow Arizona 240, Tekken Gazam, 2 Integrated, Scrub Styles, just to name a couple. That's why you usually see their replays a lot on my channel. And then I just tend to go see who's what. Now the thing I like to do is I only like to put people whose grades match or are within close to each other, and it has to be at least above a B, at least at B level. So this one I would look at, this one I would, this one I would, this one I wouldn't. I don't like matches where it's under B, or when it's A versus C or something like that. I usually don't go anywhere underneath the B ranking. I know that's pretty because you're probably saying, well, what if the C ranking is really good? That's true, but then that means that there's a lot more replays I have to go through. Because another thing I do is I tend to go through the new replay channel system, and I look at I look at all the replays there, and that's a lot of replays I'll have to go through in order to find out which ones are good and which ones are not. So it's easier for me to just do B and better. So after that, I usually record them on one shot, but there's times where I'm multitasking on my computer, and Fraps is like, it can't, you know, record at full speed. So what I'll do is that I'll look at the replay and find out what I want. For here example, you'll see that I typed down the name clip R1, which means there's a clip in round 1. What tends to happen a lot with me when I do replays is a lot of times I'll see a good match, but I don't think the match is like good enough for a full fight, but I found like 1 or 2 things I really liked about it. So what I'll do is that I'll just take that part of the match and then save it and put it to the side, and I collect a whole bunch of those, and I turn them into the mixtape series. So we're gonna record just round 1 of this match, and then we'll go into the next part of the process. So enjoy for now.
Let's do this! Fight!
ここから始める。百連脚。
Okay, so you seen that really cool combo that King and Okuma did? That's the combo I want to use and save as a clip for my mixtape series. So now that we got that, we're good. We don't have to watch anymore because I already know what the rest is not that good. So after that, now that the clip's been saved, I can get rid of it. I'll go to those new ones later. So now we got the footage, now we have to go to my next part of the editing process. So I'll meet you in part 3. Okay, so now we have the footage all set. Let's get to editing it and turn it into a clip for the mixtape itself. The program I use is Adobe Premiere. I used Premiere Elements. I bought the Premiere combo, which gave me Photoshop and Premiere Elements in one thing, and I highly recommend it because I use both programs and they are just awesome for all the work I do. My footage I saved to this folder here, so we're gonna go right here to this is the replay that we just recorded. Let it do its work there. Alright, so there's the replay. Now, we only want that one clip and then we'll save it from there. So what we do here is that we need to stretch this out a bit here so we can get a little closer up. We're gonna slide the slider forward to get to the exact part we're looking for. Escape here. Alright. Starts with King around here, so I like to use a lot of transitions, as you've seen from my mixtapes if you've seen them before. So you want to put like a few spaces in between. We have a few frames free. That way, from the transition I use, it won't cut out from the combo. So this is a good place to start it out right here. What you're gonna do is we're gonna press the scissors button right here to cut here. Get rid of this part, and then we're gonna go for the play from the beginning to make sure this is the exact clip we want. That's it. That's what we want. So we'll cut that out, and then we leave that. That's the only thing we want from that replay. Now, I save everything in folders here, as you can see. This is where I keep all my works that I do, so I can upload them when I can. I put all my clips in this one. We're calling this one Mixtape 17.5 because this is not really a full mixtape that I would do. This is just something I'm doing as a tutorial for you guys, so I'm calling it 0.5. As you can see here, this is all the clips I have left over from past mixtapes and stuff like that I put together. So this is a Cross Tekken one, so this would be clip number 17. We might not get to use that clip because a lot of times I have way too many Street Fighter Cross Tekken clips and I wound up having to use them over for the next one. So this one will be 17. So this one will probably not make it to the one that we're putting on, but at least you'll know now how I go about making the clips themselves. I like to put them in 720p, and we're gonna call it Cross Tekken. What's the number again? Sorry, I deal with numbers all day at work. I'm so bad with them. 17, and then we save it, and let it wait for a few seconds to do its thing. And there we go. Now, what we do from there is that it saves right outside here, and then I put it there, and it's ready to use for the mixtape. And that's it for that part. So now you know how to make a clip. Now, we want to make an actual mixtape itself. So first we're going to make a new one. New one altogether. And I don't save it as a name just yet. Alright, so now let's get to the nitty-gritty, the real actual creating process. As you can see here, I have all the clips and everything like that, and I have the music here. The music for this one's gonna be it's gonna be Strike Song from Buster Groove 2. You'll hear it as we work on it. One of the things I like to do is I like to have a little intro before the actual thing starts. So I have one called Mixtape. I had 3 of them set up, so I used 2 of them already. So this is the A one I have here. So we're gonna put that there. This is the intro to our thing, as you'll see here.
We don't have a lot of time. Okay, Bob, let's go.
Leave this to me.
Now obviously we can't have it just cut and dry like that. That was too fast and everything like that. Plus you can hear the sound effect in the beginning. So what we're gonna do first is we gotta add some fades. You wanna right click it and you go to fade here. You wanna fade in the audio and the video, and we also wanna fade out too. That way it'll fade out and fade into the next part of the thing. Let's try that again.
We don't have a lot of time. Okay, Bob, let's go.
Leave this to me.
That was much better. Now, for whatever clip I put next, it'll be perfect. But there's a problem. What if you see in my mixtapes, I always like to put a picture of the name of the mixtape that's going on there, but we haven't made the picture yet. So, let's go on to part 4, where we're going to make the picture, which is going to double as the picture for here and the thumbnail for the video. I'll see you there. Okay, so now we have to make the thumbnail and the picture to continue our mixtape. Now we're going to head over to Photoshop. Let's load this bad boy up and get on started. Now, I save all my thumbnails that I create in case I need to go back and make arrangements or anything like that on them for future projects. So obviously that means that the mixtape I just made has been saved. So we're gonna go to the recent one, which is number 17 that just came out the other day. Or I don't know when I post this up, but it came out a few days it came out my latest one. So this is the one I made recently for mixtape 17. Now the first thing we're gonna want to do is we don't want to use the same picture, so we're gonna erase that layer. I always like to use the same ones, that way I don't have to redo the 3 icons right here, the Street Fighter 4, Cross Tekken, and Retro, because I do all 3. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to want to put the picture down that's going to go behind it. Sometimes I may, put multiple characters down. Other times I just use one picture and then just put the things over it. For this one, just to make it simple, because I don't really want to make this a Photoshop tutorial, this is more of just like a Premiere kind of tutorial. This is a quick little thing of what I do here. So we're gonna use, they're gonna use the picture I just picked up. I'm gonna pick Dan for this one, even though he's not really gonna be in this mixtape. I want to pick him because usually when you think tutorials and how to do stuff, you think Dan Hibiki. So the first thing we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to make this a free layer. So we're gonna double click here to unlock it, and then we're gonna drag it to this one over here, and then voila, it's already on the bottom layer, so that's fine. And we're gonna stretch it. But now we have a problem. Now I just went over my other layer. Once we size it up, which is like that, that's fine. Let's push it up a little bit here. We gotta move this so that we can see the text there. So what you're gonna do is drag this up here, and now that's on top. Layers are incredibly important in Photoshop. That's like the #1 thing you should really learn on how like things stack up on each other. But okay, so now we got that straight. So now it's just a matter of just arranging it where we want it at. Let's just do it like right here on a little cascade thing here, so we can just keep an eye on Dan's face and his fist and everything like that. And then we'll put the mixtape thing here. We're gonna need to go to the text box here, and this is 17.5. We're also gonna want to change the text because that was the one from last mixtape. So let's pick something like, nah, that's not good. What about getting there, but not there just quite yet. What else we got? There we go. That looks okay. Not really, but it's good enough for now. So let's just move this over to the bottom right, and there we go. And I always put this is my little watermark symbol that I use for each season. So I always put, if you notice on all my thumbnails, I don't know if you noticed or not, but there's always like a little dragon on the thumbnail. That's kind of my little watermark to show that, you know, this is my original work kind of thing. So yeah, this is going to be our thumbnail. So now we're going to want to save it. First we're going to want to save as. We don't want to erase the other one. This is my mixtape folder, so we're going to put this is 0.5. Got that. And then we're going to save as a JPEG. Now, the one thing you want to remember when saving as a JPEG... Oops. What am I using? No, 0.5. Oops, sorry about that. I almost erased my other one. And we don't want that. Now, one thing to remember is that one thing I love about Photoshop, it tells you how much it's going to be room-wise. When you put up thumbnails on YouTube, you can't put them over 2 megs. So this says 2 megs exactly. Sometimes that gives you a problem because sometimes it says 2 megs. I try to put on YouTube and it says too big, and sometimes it goes through. So we're just gonna move it down by 1, and now it's 1.4, which is perfect. So okay, and now we have the picture ready. So that was a quick little how I make the thumbnails on these things. Maybe in the future I'll show you how I do like a more complicated one. Well, not really complicated, but just how I do like a more detailed one. This one's like a more simple one because, like I said, I'm trying to focus more on Premiere than Photoshop. Let's go over to part 5 where we're going to get to the meat of how things really go down. Alright, so we have our clips and we have the picture set. So let's go ahead on back to Premiere and continue where we left off. Now, sorry, I must have got sized up when I walked away. So now the intro is all set. The next thing we're going to do is put the music track down. So let's head on back to the mixtape thing. Our song's right here. We want to have it start as soon as the intro goes off. So there it goes right there. When I pick a music track, I like it to be at least 3 minutes long. 3 minutes is really short. It's still pretty short to me, but it's enough time to, like, you know, just put enough clips in there. Anything other 3 minutes, I feel doesn't give me enough time to like showcase a lot of the clips I have, and that's usually why I always wind up having like a lot of extra clips left over for the next mixtape, which is good and bad for me. It's good because it means I don't have to click as much clips, and that way you guys won't have to wait as long for the next one. But it's bad because then, you know, like, no, there might be a really good clip I had that I really wanted to show you, but I didn't get to it yet, so I kind of had to wait to use it to our next one. So anyway, now we got this straight. Now next we're going to do is we're going to go to the picture we just made, because I usually do it. We're going to go to thumbnails. That's where I have all my stuff saved. These are my current projects I'm working on. We're going to go to 17.5, the one we just made, and then we drag it right here. There There we go. Now next thing we're going to do is how long do you want the show for? This part usually goes with the music, so you click this thing here to see the music. So that's the music, you know, the audio levels and stuff like that. We're definitely going to want it to fade in, obviously. So, let's see how long we want it to be. We might need to make it longer, we might need to do shorter, so let's go right here and see how it looks. See, I think it should be about that long, and then the first track should go. So what we're going to want to do is stretch it to right here, and then we're going to want to tell it to fade out. So let's try that again. Perfect. Now that's perfect because basically we hear the first that's good for, like, you know, to hear the first like action pack clip start. I like to pay attention to a lot of music. If you like, I don't know if you really notice it because you're probably looking at all the clips, but I usually like to, like, you know, try to match the action with how, like, certain cues with the music. So basically the thing that stood out to me was when the guy goes like that. So I kind of want something to happen around that point. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to keep this folder open at all times because we got to drag most of these clips in here and in order. So I was going to start with a cross-teching clip because those are the ones I had the most of. So we're just going to throw number 1 here. Let's put that there. And let it go. Alright. Now the thing is, now next thing you have to worry about is the levels. You don't want the game, well, depending on what kind of project you're doing, you don't want the game levels to go over the music levels. You want people to still hear the music. I know sometimes in mine you can still hear the game go over the music. That's usually just bad editing on my part. But for the most part, I like to try to keep the levels low, like the game levels lower than the music. I want you to be able to hear the gameplay, but I don't want it to be louder than the music itself. I want you to be able to enjoy both simultaneously. So the first thing we're going to do is this has to fade in from the last one. So let's do that. We're going to fade in and see how it looks. Let's try it out. That was perfect. Next thing that I need to check is that, and this is a problem with my part, sometimes I get multiple clips from one replay, and if that is the case, I like to have them both like connected together. So the thing I like to do next is, especially if it's cross-teching, I like to open it first to see if it's from the same replay first. See, this is from the same replay. So what we're going to want to do is that we're going to want to put that one next to it. Let me check the next one after that. That's from a different one, so that means I can cut that. That can be the next section. So we're going to put this one right next to it because it's from the same exact fight. I need to come up with a system where I can find out which ones are connected and stuff like that, so that way it'll make it easier for me to edit. So the audio was pretty good on that one. It wasn't too loud, it wasn't louder than the music, so it was fine. Now the thing I like to do is if it's from the same replay, the transition right here that I like to use is I like to go to dissolve, and I like to go to add to the add to dissolve, because that way it looks like it's kind of like fading into the next one, sort of. So I used to try to use cross dissolve, but the thing is that with add to dissolve, dang it, it kind of puts a little lighting into it, so it looks like a nice little fade. Where cross dissolve is, if it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't, it looks kind of messy. So what we're gonna do is when between the clips, and I always put 1 second. Always make sure it has 1 second for me at least. Unless you want a really long one, you can add some more to it, but the magic number for me is 1 second. It's always as long as you can see the transition, and it's not too long to take away from, like, you know, the impact of what's going on. So now we got that in there. Let's see what it looks like now. See? That was nice. That was pretty beautiful, actually. Sorry, I get really hyped when I work on these guys. I really have a lot of fun working on these projects. And then save. It's important to save often because sometimes, you know, sometimes it might crash. It doesn't happen too often to me, but it has happened on occasion, and I usually lose a lot of time with that. So now we got 2 of those. Next, we're going to want to switch games over. I don't like it to focus too much on one game at one point because it's supposed to be a mix of a whole bunch of games. So usually what I do is my magic number is 2 Cross Tekken, 1 Street Fighter, 1 Retro. Then another 2 Cross Tekken, 1 Street Fighter, 1 Retro. That's my usual circle. Sometimes I might just do 1 Cross Tekken because I have too many clips I have of other things and I want to make sure I can show everything. But if you look at all my mixtapes, you'll see that that's usually the pattern I follow. It's 2 Cross Tekken, 1 Street Fighter 4, then the Retro. So next, now that we have a 2 Cross Tekken down, let's go put a Street Fighter 4 one in. And we're gonna drop it right there. Anyways, this guy out the way. This looks like it's gonna be a long one, which makes me happy. That's a lot of time that can be taken off there. We're gonna lower it down. Now it's a different game. We're gonna want a different transition. Obviously, we don't want like add to dissolve because it's from a different game, so it doesn't really connect that well, and it's not from the same replay. So this is where it gets a little fun. Now I get to look through all of these and see which one I want. Usually I start off with slides. They seem to be like the nice quick ones I can go with. We're just gonna do a push. Just keep it simple for now. We'll do like more complicated ones later. So we're gonna do a push and do that one, and then just test out, see how it looks. Now let's stop right there. This is a lot of time that's being spent right here, and when the next part, if you've seen this outro before, it says Kuma just doing this, just going down to the ground right there. That's a waste of time. Let's see all this color rays right there though. This makes for a good transition right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut right here, and we're gonna go to the next game. The next game is gonna be a retro clip. So let's put some Garo in there next. Alright, so that's that one. Usually when I run into like an ultra combo finish or something like that, and there's like a lot of color in the background, I like to use an art blend to mix in with it. So that's kind of like a whitish gray one. So let's do a glow and see how that looks. Let's see soft glow. See how that looks real quick. See how it looks. See how it think. And go. See, that's pretty good. See, the glow is pretty good. I didn't have a lot of colors to use, but that glow was pretty good for that one. I wanted a soft glow. So, that's pretty good. Now we got Nekaro. The audio on this one, as you can see, is pretty low, so I didn't have to like make it turn down or anything like that, because even as loud as it's not going to be a problem with the music in the background. So let's save that we did there. Excuse me. Alright. So now let's go back to Cross Tekken. So we did up to 1 through 2, so let's do number 3 now. Now, before I put this down, I'm going to make sure to see if 3 and 4 are the same thing, are from the same fight. So that's that one. And number 4 is same one. Number 5, different. So 3 and 4 are going to be another 2 that are connected. So we're going to put 3, and we're going to put 4 right there. Alright. We're going to need another transition. Well, usually since I'm going from a retro back to like something something current, let's do something a little more exciting. Let's go to explosion elements, and we're going to do one of my favorite. I love this. This is one of my favorite ones to use. The bouncing cubes. So we're going to put that one there and do that. We got to lower the volume because now the volume's got a little bit it's a little bit higher now. And then we're going to make sure to put the dissolve right here. And additive. And go. Alright, let's try that again and see how it looks. Attack mad crowd with pit bull style. So that's the fight in this at all. Back it up and hear your name called. Some punks must even backstab. Sort cap, even smell rappers. Playing that one that will never be. The stupid don't look at me. Watch out worldwide, here comes trouble. Move out of my way. Watch out worldwide, here comes trouble. Let's move out of my way. Watch out worldwide, here comes trouble. Move out of my way. Watch out worldwide, here comes trouble. Pretty nice. That was good. I liked it. Alright, so now we gotta go back to Street Fighter 4. And this is basically it right here. I mean, this is basically, I'm not ending it here, but I'm just showing you, this is basically the process of me doing the mixtapes. It's just like, it's just all about connecting them all together like this, and it's keeping the flow going. And it's not as complicated as it looks. It's actually really simple and a lot of fun, especially when you do it my way. I mean, the only thing that's really long is collecting all these clips. This does take a lot of time. I mean, you saw me do one, but as you can see, I've collected a lot of clips because I watch a lot of replays. I mean, a ton, and that's why I try to have and I know you guys love the replays I put up. That's why I try to click as many as I can. And we're talking about hours of me sitting here just watching and shifting through like a whole bunch of them. And so I try to make it fun for myself by saying, I didn't really like this fight, but I like this one part of the fight. And I want people to see it, but I don't want them to have to wait through a whole fight just to watch that one cool part. So why not just put them all together in one thing and make it easy? That's why basically I came up with this thing. And for the longest time, I loved doing like compilations. I love doing transitions. I love putting music in the background and stuff like that, because I used to do it all the time with my old leak videos that I used to do back in the day. But let's get back on track. So we did a slide already. Let's try a page peel. Usually the one I like to do is page turn right here. So we're going to do that, and we're going to lower the volume and see what we got. Now I remember this one. This is actually a rare case where I actually have two clips from the same fight on Street Fighter 4. The next one is actually from the same fight, so we're gonna put that one right there also. Keep it the same things. I can keep the 9 IO levels. And as always, since it's from the same fight, we're gonna do another dissolve to keep it together. You might be asking yourself, well, isn't the dissolve kind of repetitive from the same clip? The thing is, if you're going to, my whole philosophy is, if it's from the same fight, you don't want a transition that's gonna break the viewer's attention when it's actually the same thing. Because when you do a transition, especially like a flashy one, it makes gets the viewer ready to see something different, like from a different game, or just a different fight altogether. So doing a special transition and it being from the same fight, it's kind of like a letdown. It's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like you're juggling something like that, and then you do a backflip or something like that, but then you just go back to juggling. You're not doing anything new or special or anything like that. You're just doing the same juggle thing as well. You got people all built up, but then you're just doing the same thing. You're not doing anything new and exciting. So I kind of think of it like that. If you were doing the same, say you were juggling, did you do a backflip, but then now you're adding more to the juggling? That's different, because now you're adding on to the show. Bad example, I know, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Anyway, let's see how this looks now. We're gonna stop right there. Now, remember what I said earlier about how when Ultra Combo finishes, I like to use an art blend? Well, for a Street Fighter 4 and Cross Tekken, when they do a one like this where it's yellow like that, Premiere has a really good blend for that. First, let me save this. And we're gonna go to a retro clip, so let's go to some KOF ones I have saved. This is a really long one if I remember correctly, so we're gonna... Actually, let's just get out the way, just to get used. Yeah, this is a really long one I had saved up. Because this one, I was going to use this one for mixtape number 17, but it was just so long and I didn't have a lot of time to actually use it. So this one, since it's more of a tutorial than anything, it'll be fine to use. So now we're going to use the art blends, and the perfect one to go with, if you use this program, the perfect one to go with Cross Tekken and Super Street Fighter 4 Ultra finishes, metallic copper right here. It's literally almost the same as that color, so it's a nice good transition to put there. This one actually has some volume to it, so I'm going to lower it a tiny bit, and let's see how it looks. Now see, it's still a little loud. See, the gameplay is a little tiny bit louder than the music, so we're going to lower this another notch. Like that. Let's try it again. That's better. You don't want the clips to be louder than the actual like music itself.
No matter the cost of the just my operation fatal to all those folks with giant grills and nowhere to go. Watch out, worldwide, here comes trouble. Who's out of my way?
That's perfect. See, it's a very long one because it was like I'd never seen somebody use whip like that in a long time. I had a friend way back when I was younger who I used to play KOF with. He was really good with whip. He used to do some crazy stuff with her. So it was really nice to see somebody use whip like that. It was awesome. So now we're gonna go back to Cross Tekken, and we're on number 5. Let's keep an eye and see how much time we have left with the music. We still have maybe a minute and change to go. So look at that. We're already halfway done with the thing. There's also a lot of dead space right here at the end, so that doesn't count. We'll be cutting that out, no problem. So anyway, we're gonna go to Cross Tekken and go number 5 now. The same thing, check and see if they're connecting ones. So this is number 5. This is number 6. Same one, number 7 is different. So number 7 is different. So same thing. Wow, we've been lucky. Look at that. Wow, connecting ones. So 5 and 6. Good. Stretch that again so we can get some editing. That's a little too close. Hold on a second. Whew, excuse me, I'm sorry. Alright, since we're going from retro back to 3D, let's do a nice big effect here. Let's do a nice checker. I like the checkerboard now, and this is also one of my favorite ones. So we're gonna lower that down to here as well. Put another dissolve in. Right there. There we go. Lower this down as well, and let's see how it looks. Good one right there. That was Mr. 2 integrated. Him and Lahadama, they have like the best, in my opinion, they have like the best Chun-Li Cammy combo, Cammy synergy, and PC Cross Tekken. Those two guys are really good at that team. They kick some serious ass on there with Chun-Li and Cammy as their team. Anyway, we're gonna go to Street Fighter 4. Now this is the last Street Fighter 4 clip I can use because the last one I have saved, but that's fine though because we have there's not a lot of time left in the song to finish, so this actually works out for us. So we're gonna go number 4 here. Drop that down. And it's another long one, so that's good for us. For this one, we haven't done 3D motion yet. Let's do a swing out. And do that one. Lower the volume again, and see how it looks. That was beautiful. That was awesome. Okay, so now we got that one. Save again. We're almost done there, guys. We're almost done. Hope you guys have been enjoying so far because I'm having a lot of fun. That's awesome. Next, we're gonna have a Street Fighter 3 one, Third Strike. So we're gonna throw that in down here. Sorry, you're number 1 here, buddy. Get it down here. And for this one, let's do a white. We're gonna do Venetian blinds. This one, the volume's kind of low, so I don't think we have to edit it at all. So let's try it again. Let's look. That's perfect. Good. And then we're gonna go back to Cross Tekken. We're on. See, now I forgot what number I'm on. So this, another good thing is this tells you all the clips you've been using so far. So now I see the last one I used was number 6. So now we're gonna go to number 7. Same thing. Check and see if it connects. That's 7, and number 8 is different. So 7 is 1 and 8 is not. So what we're gonna do is, since I have more KOF clips left over, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do Street Fighter Cross Tekken, KOF, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, KOF until it finishes out, because there's only about a couple of seconds left for the song to finish. So let's put down number 7 now. Number 7 seems to be a long one, and that looks like it might be towards the end. This is a problem, because now what I'm going to have to do is that, well, I'll show you in a second, but what we're going to do is that we'll have to find something that, we'll have to do one of two things. One, we'll have to skip this clip and I'll have to save it for the next mixtape, or B, I have to find a clip that's short. And one thing I try to do on my mixtapes from now on is that the last clip is always like a KO finish. That way I can fade out and it actually ends. Because looking at my past mixtapes, I never liked the ones where the last clip has something kept going, because it kind of gets the viewer pumped to see something else, but you know, it's over. I like it to be like a nice KO finish. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check my KOF ones and see if I have any ones that have a KO finish. That one is not a KO. That's not a KO. That one is. So this one, let's see how long it is. Is it going to go past the mark or no? That's bad. It's going to go past it, so that's a problem. What we're going to have to do is that this clip is way too long, so we're going to have to use it another time. So this is one of the problems I run into sometimes. But that's why I like to have songs that are longer, because if I had a song that was at least 3 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that, that would have been fine to end it right there, but I can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that clip, and we'll just have to get rid of that and just use it for next time. So we'll clear these two out. So we can't use 7, so what we're going to do is now we just jump to 8. Now it's 8 and 9 connected. That's the next thing we got to find out. So 8 is this one, and number 9 is this. That's different. So 9 is different. So we're going to put 8 here. That's good. Now we know the KOF one is not really that long, so what we're going to do is, let's see, let's try number 2, right? We're on number 2 of KOF. How's that looking? Let's see how much room we get to play with. That's that one. And then number 9, if I remember correctly, is a KO finish of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So that is perfect. That's enough time to end it and then have a nice little fade out. So that's good. So these are the ones we're going to finish off with here. So the next thing we're going to do is we had to add some more transitions. Let's do another slide. We'll do a slash slide here. Lower the volume again. And then play. And that's good. Alright then. Alrighty. We'll add some transitions here, and I think we got it, folks. We should have it from here. Let's do a transformation one here, do a box full there, and we'll do a page roll here, since we're just about finished right now. Lower that down, and let's take a look.
So watch out, competition, here comes trouble. Like I challenge mother. Watch out, worldwide, here comes trouble. Move out of my way. Watch out, worldwide, here comes trouble. I said you better move out of my way. Watch out, worldwide, here comes trouble. You better move out of my way. Watch out, worldwide, here comes trouble. When I tell you move out of my way.
Alright, so that last one we want to have, since that's the last clip, what we're going to do is we're going to tell it to fade out and save that. Now the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to put just going to put something small, text. This is where I usually have this is where it usually crashes on me sometimes when I use Premiere. Like I said, not all the time, but just something, you know, it happens from time to time. We're going to do Comic Sans, keep it simple. And we're going to put, well, since you guys helped me do this one, we're going to put, thanks for helping. And we're going to center that a little bit, because it's a little off center. There you go. And then I can use this to perfectly align it, like that. You know, look at Comic Sans, I want to listen a little different. Let's try, ugh, no. Ah, no. Ugh. Come on now, there's gotta be something good. There's gotta be something in here. That'll do, I guess. Not great, but he'll do. There you go. Alrighty. We got that down. We're gonna have this, obviously fade in. This is too long. Well, actually, let's see how long it is, how long it looks. And then we'll see. And then, next thing is, because all the dead space right here, we don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut around right there for the music. Get rid of that. And let's see how it looks.
When I tell you move out of my way.
Perfect. Oh my, what happened to the video? Why is it all sideways like that? Whoa now. Okay, I'm not sure why it did that, so we're gonna have to just take that out and put it back in. So sorry, I must have clicked something by accident when I did that, so let's see, go back and put number 9 back in there. I'm not sure what I touched to do that. I must have really just pressed something I did not notice what I was doing. Transition was the roll away. Got that, lower that down. Ooh, a little too low. Whoa, too low. And then fade that out. This is a fade in and fade out. Alright, let's try that again.
Here comes trouble. I said you better move out of my way. Watch out, worldwide, here comes trouble. You better move out of my way. Watch out, worldwide, here comes trouble. When I tell you move out of my way.
And that's a mixtape. That's kind of perfect, actually. That was pretty fun to actually make that one. So, normally I would go back and look at it, but we're not gonna waste time with that because you're gonna see it yourself. I'm gonna post this Dragonspeak episode by itself, and then I'm gonna post the mixtape as a separate video, so that way you'll get to see the finished product together. Next thing I like to do is I'm gonna publish. You go to publish again, as you saw me do earlier. My mixtapes I like to put at 1080p because they're like really nice finished projects. So we're gonna do that in. It's a lot of typing for all that stuff I gotta put in. So I have all my mixtapes, the videos. I have them saved in my mixtape folder here. So I save all my final ones right here. So we're gonna copy that and then just put right here. Then this is 17.5. And get rid of this here and save. And from there on, that's basically it. That's the process of how I make my mixtape videos. I hope this was very informative. I hope it helps you out. I hope it inspires you to make your own fun projects. Adobe Premiere is really fun to me. It's really simple because I've had experiences by using this program, a music program called Acid back in the day. My dad taught me how to use that, so a lot of my Acid knowledge came when I worked on this one here. So it was really simple and really easy to jump into. It's not that complicated. It's really fun and stuff like that. I love it to death, and it's just made my commentaries and my projects just a breeze to make, and I love it for that. As I said, in the future I might make another Dragonspeak episode where I go into like more complicated pictures I might make for the mixtape series, or just in general what things I do. So I'll keep you posted on that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys enjoyed the mixtape that you helped create. And I will see you next time. This is Cooliex Dragon signing off.